So the Boogeyman, I liked it. It was good. It had some good jump scare moments. The Boogeyman is this entity that attaches itself to children because the parents have emotionally neglected them. The Boogeyman attacks children and families where the parents have emotionally neglected the children. I thought that was pretty slick. Once you stop paying attention to your children, the entities come in and replace your parenting with other types of thoughts and stuff like that. Was a very very slick way to introduce the Boogeyman. The first opening scene, oh my god, there's a 2-year old, I think she's 2 or 3, in a crib. The Boogeyman opens the closet door. The Boogeyman can mimic whoever. So the Boogeyman says the little girl's name, and she wakes up crying, "Daddy." This thing comes through the door, out of the closet, up to her crib. She's crying, like crying, really crying. And it gets up on the crib, and she this high pitched wail that only toddlers can do, and then it snaps her neck. Oh my god, I wasn't ready, yo. The Boogeyman, and this. So in the beginning, the father, all 3 of his kids were killed by the Boogeyman. The father goes to the therapist. The therapist, his wife died in an accident. He's a therapist, but he's been neglecting his 2 daughters. So the man spills his guts and says, "Hey, something happened to my kids. This is what it looked like. I need to. They thought I killed my kids. I didn't. It was some spirit, some entity." He hangs himself in the therapist's house. Then the Boogeyman becomes attached to his youngest daughter. What's her name? Sadie. I think her name was Sadie. No, Sawyer. The Sawyer and Sadie, the little girl in this movie. Holy cow! There's one scene when the older sister is trying to pull the young sister's tooth out. She ties the string to her tooth and ties it to the door. Now she says, on the count of 3, I'm going to slam this door and going to pull your tooth out. They count 1, 2. The door just slams by itself, pulls the girl's tooth out. The jump scares are Conjuring good. The first Conjuring. Remember the infamous scene when the red demon like pops up from the side of old dude's head? It's that good. And then oh my gosh, the Boogeyman was good. It was good. It was a good original take on an old story. It was a Stephen King story. Um, so the oldest daughter dealing with issues, she learns about the Boogeyman. She goes to see the guy who killed himself in her house, his wife. She's like, "Yeah, you know, it's real. I didn't believe it either, and it can't stand light. And there's these black vines all through the house that let you know that the Boogeyman is here." Then the Boogeyman at one point starts openly attacking the little girl. At one scene, when he possesses the oldest sister, he bursts through the door, and then he inserts himself in her mouth. She wakes up as a dream, but she's really possessed. And then the one scene when the little girl is downstairs playing PlayStation, and this was an awesome little scene. So she's playing a PlayStation game. It's dark, and she's playing the game, and she sees the two dots, the 2 eyes, and she makes the character shoot an arrow to brighten the screen, right? And she keeps seeing it, and she keeps pushing the button to make the character on the screen shoot the weapon to make the screen bright, and you keep seeing these 2 dots. And then all of a sudden, it's up there, and then she lays down on the couch real quiet. So when she thought it left, this thing jumps her from it goes to the front of the TV, it jumps her, and then it drags her across the top of the screen. All you see is her feet midair. And then it comes back around and then throws her against the TV. This is a little girl, a little 8-year-old girl. This movie is not kind to children. Oh my God. This movie is not kind to children. So at one point, the oldest daughter was trying to learn how to communicate with her dead mother. If you ask the spirit to bend the flame a certain direction to the left, that lets you know the spirit is there. So at the end, when they're in the basement, it finally attacks the father. So it's open possession time. Now it's trying to kill everybody. They're in the basement. They're trying to light the lighter, the mother's lighter, the dead mother's lighter. It finally lights. The flame bends to the left. They let them know that the mother is here. They set the creature on fire. The house burns up. They get out. And then they go to the therapist, the black therapist. At the end, the father finally opened up himself to his feelings about how his dead wife and his children. So then at the very end, remember, the boogeyman can mimic voices. So the therapist calls the oldest daughter back into the therapist's house. And she's looking around and says, hey, hello. And then here comes the therapist. Hey, can I help you? And there's an open closet door. Then she closes the door. Right? The boogeyman is, listen, if you want a cheap thrill, the boogeyman is your movie.